All right, you're looking at a daily chart of the Nasdaq, which was down at the open and then fought back to close up 13.94, essentially 14 points. Kind of flat on the session, on a below average volume, slightly below, but it was a positive. I thought it was a positive day for the Nasdaq after yesterday's big move of 300 something points. And it gave some back at 319 points on Monday. Open today, a little lower. If I go to the 5-minute chart, you can see how it, opened way low, gap lower, and just fought back all day. So good day for the Nasdaq just to close flat on the session. It's just absorbing these or digesting these gains from the follow through day on November 1st and the 21% rally from trough to peak here at December 27th, from October 27th to December 27th, the 9th, 2-month rally of 21%. It gave, I don't know, 4% back. And if I look at the monthly, I know people are whining, oh, we're down this month. Yeah, it's down 1% this month. So what? So if you're flat or if you're up, you're beating the index. So give yourself a hand. But the first 2 weeks are really difficult. I think they're difficult to trade historically, very difficult. So if you're hanging in there, good luck. If you own ELF and AMD and NVDA and SMCI and CrowdStrike, you're thinking, wow, the market was ripping today, but nope, it was just flat and digesting these big gains. I'm not sure if this correction is over or if it's just going to stabilize and go sideways, but I think it's positive sign that it stopped going lower here and now it pulled it rallied a little bit yesterday through its moving averages. There you can see it's 0.5% above its 10 EMA, 1% above its 21, and 4.3% above this red rising 50. So we're in a power trend, digesting gains. Everything's okay for now. And the Nasdaq looks pretty good. I'm going to go to the Russell because the Russell is not doing quite as well. It was down 1% today. Um, yeah, it's tied to, I shouldn't say it's tied to the rates, but the rates were trending lower and the small caps were doing well. And now the rates have gone up and above 4%. And now it's starting to struggle a little bit. So it is, there is a strong correlation there between the two. I guess I'll go to the S&P. I wasn't going to go through all these indexes. It was down a little bit today, not a big deal, just digesting these gains, just like the Nasdaq. And the Dow Jones Industrial Average is actually the stronger of the indexes, 4.7% above the 50, and had these big gains and now just forming like a little shelf here and digesting those gains. Anyway, I'm going to move on to stocks. Apple, of course, is the big kahuna. The nearly $3 trillion stock. It sliced its 50, came down to the 200, found support, bounced a little bit, had an inside day today. Yeah, once again, I say you got to wait till the earnings comes out. It's in no man's land here between the 50 and the 200. Maybe it'll rally back through these moving averages. We'll have to wait and see, but definitely a big weight on the indexes is Apple and Microsoft, which continues to just trade sideways, pulled back to its 50 and found support, and it was bounced yesterday and again today. So nice move here for Microsoft, just finding support there at that 375 area. So that looks okay. Meta had a nice little move here from 313, and now it's just kind of digesting gains as well. Meta looks fine. What was the other one? Oh, Amazon was somebody's top pick today. I don't know if it was Morgan Stanley or Goldman Sachs or one of them, but it responded well. It just pulled back to its 50. You can see the consolidation there after the big move, like the index, hit the 50, and now the last 3 days is found support and bounced a little bit. So Amazon, did I show Google? I'm losing it. Google, yeah, it looks okay. Just hovering around that buy point, that 139.42 area. Not bad. I wanted to get to a couple of these other ones here. Tesla, absolutely nothing burger here. Kind of struggling, can't get out of its own way. It's a 0.5% below the 50 today, so that's not a good turn of events for Tesla today. Anyway, I wanted to get to NVIDIA because this is the best acting of the Magnificent Seven. It was in this base here. It had this double bottom pattern, then it formed this flat base. So it's been consolidating for a while since this 502 in August. And so you're looking at, more than 4 months of consolidation. Now it tried to break out on Monday. It followed through today with a nice gain. Some sellers came in and took profits, but still a nice move for NVIDIA. And these, if you're gonna own a semiconductor, if you're gonna own any stock at any group, you want to own, kind of the best. Some people like to call them leaders, but I like to own the best performing stocks. And AMD and NVIDIA, are doing just that. If I go to a comparison chart here and just compare since the market stopped going down at the end of October, these two have been performing well, NVIDIA and AMD. AMD up nearly 60%, NVIDIA up, nearly 32%. So, those are the ones that I want to own. And if I throw in AVGO, this one's had a nice move as well. It's up 31%. So to me, why look around and try to find a needle in the haystack or a pearl or a gem? I mean, I want to own these large liquid ones, but that's just me. Some people like to dig around and find some smaller names that have the ability to grow, but for me, it's it's a little safer to own these ones. I shouldn't say safer. That's not a good word. They're just performing well, so I'm comfortable with AMD, NVIDIA, and Broadcom. This one pulled back to its 21. You can see it's got this rare ascending base pattern. I could explain the ascending base, but I'm not going to. Just know that it's had these three little rise up, pull back, rise up, pull back. And now, the buy point there is, 1151. So keep your eyes on Broadcom. Anyway, I'm going to move on to the cybersecurity space, CrowdStrike. Speaking of stocks that are performing, CrowdStrike, once again, a leader in the group. Gosh, I hate that term leader. It's just performing better than the others. It's above its moving averages. And if I go to Zscaler and Palo Alto Networks and crunch the time down to the when the markets stop correcting there, they're all doing well. CrowdStrike up 60%, and just like AMD and Zscaler not bad, 46%, in Palo Alto 27%. So you can see these stocks, CrowdStrike making a new 52-week high today, Zscaler a new 52-week high. And Palo Alto cracked 300. So it ran up to 318, pulled back. That's a nice, what I would call a bull wedge pattern, rallied back through its moving averages. So Palo Alto looks good as well. Anyway, if you don't own them, I wouldn't be chasing, certainly not Zscaler and CrowdStrike. Palo Alto, maybe. You want to get them as close to those moving averages as you can. Anyway, I'm going to move on to the software names. Some of these software names they're kind of trading similar here. This is Elastic, and it gapped higher. You can see it's got that, it's got it in its DNA, right? It gaps higher on earnings. And then it's pulled back. It's another one of these wedge patterns, wedging on, lighter volume, and now has recaptured its moving averages here. Today it was flat on the session. The Nasdaq was flat. This is flat, but still looks pretty good. Something that I'm definitely keeping my eye on. GitLab is another one that computer tech services that gaps, gapped here. These stocks have personalities. This one's a gapper, pulled back, and then now recaptured its moving averages. Was actually up today, 2.75%, and it's above its 1.5% above the 10. So it's doing a little better than Elastic. IoT is another one trading very similar. Made this, gap once again, gaps, right? Gosh, I hate it when I have to do this. Gappy stocks. and then pull back to their moving averages, undercut, and then rallied above. Now it's 2.3% above the 10 EMA. So this one up 2% today, doing better than Elastic. This is Samsara IoT. So there was another one I believe I was going to show, maybe not. Yeah, those three, that's enough for today. I want to get to some other stocks. This is Datadog, which has been on our ready list for obvious reasons. Big consolidation, cup with handle. And, I had some people say, oh, it's already broken out, it's already run. Well, okay. It just depends on your time frame. Sure, if you bought it, here, at the lows last spring, or if you bought it here before the in October when it made that low, like the markets did, below 80, sure, it's had a nice run, it's up 50%. But to me, it hasn't even broke out yet. I mean, looking at the big picture here, this has got this big cup with handle. Now it's just hovering around this standard buy point. A little lighter volume handle would not be the worst thing that could happen for Datadog. Like I said, it's all about your time frame. And I still like that stock where it is today. Giga Cloud Technology, this thing is ridiculous. It's on a heater. Just, if I still posted a heat list, this would be at the head of the class here. Pulling back to its 10, you got to notice these moves here. Big volume surge and pulls back to the 10, find support. Another big volume surge here, pulls back to the 10, find support, blasts higher, pulls back to the 10, find support, blasts higher. That's why you got to pay attention to these moving averages, which brings me to Zim. I wasn't going to show this, but it had this big volume surge, pull back to the 10, then had this big volume surge, and now pulling back to the 10. So I'm not going to take my eyes off this one, even though, people think it's a junky stock and it's just going up on news. It's all true. But if it wants to come down to the 10 and then bounce, I'm all for that. I'm here for it. It's going up. The 10's going up about, I don't know, about 20 cents a day. So maybe tomorrow about 12.38, 12.40, something like that. So if it pulls back there, I'll definitely be interested if it can find support and bounce once again. At some point, maybe it'll just crash and burn. But so far, we're going to go with that pattern. Affirm had the same pattern where it broke out, and then pulled back to its broke out here, pulled back to its 10, had a nice run, pull back to its 10, another volume surge higher, pull back to the 10. Finally ran up and then whoops, sliced the 10, the 21. And now it's trying to recapture those moving averages, had an inside day today. Anyway, those are just some of the things that I'm looking at. ELF, this is my top hold here, and it's for obvious reasons. This one had a this big base. It ran for a year, and now it's formed another base, pulled back up 12% this week. Yeah, I mean, to me, they're taking mind share and market share. It's got some, volume here coming in. To me, the Alpha is just a pretty easy hold here. If you bought it as a pullback to me, this is a cup, and then the pullback here, this little wedge handle. There's your pullback below the moving averages. That'll serve as a handle. But we'll see how that one plays out. I like that one. CELH Celsius. This one drives me nuts. I don't even look at it. I bought it as it broke above this downtrend line. Just drives me nuts. If it goes up, it's sure to come down. If it goes down, it's sure to come up. Just kind of chopping around here. Wow, it actually finished lower today. It was up. I promise. It was over 60. Yeah, $60.70. Oh, well. Okay, finish lower. That's what I mean. It's just a herky-jerky stock. But the 10 and the 21 have, crossed above the 50, and they're rising. So as long as the 10 and the 21 are rising and going up, a little bit each day. I don't know how much per day here. Let's check it out. 54.60, 55.09. So that's 49 cents. Oh, wow. Another 50 cents. So 55 cents in today. Okay, so it's going up every day. So as long as that 10's rising and you're holding it, I mean, it's going to go higher and you're going to make money. So I don't, like I said, I don't even look at it. I think they're going to blow away earnings whenever they are. Anyway, I'm going to move on to Bros. This is one I had on our ready list. It completely bombed. Yesterday, they announced they're gonna spend money to open more stores, 150 to 155 stores in 2024. Wall Street does not like that, spending money, business. They like making money. Now, if those capital expenditures turn into, revenue and earnings growth, yeah, Wall Street's going to reward them later on. But right now, no, they don't like that news. So, Dutch Bros is in the doghouse or the outhouse or whatever until they, have earnings and sales. You got to wait for their conference call to see how they're doing and what their guidance is for 2024. Anyway, the last one is Urban. They raised guidance yesterday at their retail conference, which has delivered a ton of news. But anyway, nice move here, 7% with volume. So that looks good as well. I'm going to go to the drug stocks because there's just a ton of news coming out of the JP Morgan conference in San Francisco. This is DYN, had a big gap higher and then just kind of got quiet. It was up like 8 or 9% today. It was only closed up 4 in the middle of its daily range. So 54% of its daily range, but definitely want to keep an eye on there. That one moves. APLS, I believe they had news on, they raised guidance as well. They didn't write it down. Anyway, definitely making higher lows and higher highs. So just wanted to point that out. Up 6% today. RXST. Now I know they raised guidance and yesterday made this big pop, 22% move with volume. That's a move not to be ignored. It followed through again today with nearly a 2% move. So RXST is on the move. VKTX, this one had a big move today. This is a stock without earnings or sales. They have the compound for the weight loss, and there was I don't know, some CEOs talking about they're going to get in the game. Pfizer and Roche, and yeah, they're this is definitely a takeover target, and they're going to have a NDA sometime, I think in the first half of 2024 for a new drug application for weight loss, which is a pill, oral form. So I don't know. I suspect they'll probably get taken out before then, but definitely a nice move with volume today for Viking. IMVT, I don't know what's going on here. Probably raised guidance or something, but undercut the 21, then rallied back through it, made a new high today. I like that right there at the 44.19. Why not, right? Take a swing. You don't get any base hits without your with the bat on the shoulder. So anyway, that one looks pretty good to me. CYTK, I told you yesterday that these rumors don't chase these rumors. It was up big yesterday on the Wall Street Journal rumor and then down nearly 6% today because, this has been rumored for a while to be a buyout target. So yeah, it was up 15% yesterday on just rumors and then down nearly 6% today. So hope y'all didn't get hurt with that one. All right, I'm just going to take a random walk here at some stocks making news or making moves. This is Acuity Brands, a building construction product stock. They reported earnings this morning, and I really didn't know how this was going to go, but obviously Wall Street liked it. It was up 11.5% on 347% above average daily volume. So that's a move not to be ignored. I like this move here as it gapped higher than formed this shelf. You'll see this, often is it, when stocks gap higher and then institutions are unwilling to sell. So they just kind of chop around for a little bit. And then boom, the news comes in and you get a big move there. Juniper, oh, this is up on an HP. HP's buying Juniper. Oh, well, Juniper's a great company. Great people that work there. My wife used to work there, and we have a lot of friends that work there. So congrats to you guys at Juniper. It's fantastic. A 22% move. So go out and celebrate Juniper. CCJ. This is a mining and metal stock. It's made this big run, then pulled back, kind of like the indexes here. At the end of the December, kind of pulled back. This little 2-week window at the end of December and the beginning of the first 2 weeks of January, kind of funky, but undercut the 50 and then rallied back through it. So that's a nice move of nearly 5% for Kamiko. And the last one is Metsi. This is a energy coal stock, and this one I guess they have some mine in Wyoming, I want to say, supposed to be worth I don't know, allegedly 40 billion, and it's only a 1.2 billion stock. So definitely one to keep an eye on. I think that was the move here where it just ramped higher on that news of the mine in Wyoming, and formed this little base here, consolidated, and then blasted higher today, made a new high up nearly 8%. So congrats to those. And the energy. Coal have been strong along with the drugs, and last week we had the shippers and the financials, and this week it's the semiconductors and some software and some retail, with all the news from all these conferences. Anyway, that's it for me, except for I lied. I have one more thing after the bell tonight. AEHR reported earnings not being well received here, down 16% after hours. I don't have to dig into that a little deeper. I don't know, they revised forward guidance, so you can never trust after hours or pre-market trading. We just got to wait for the regular session tomorrow, and maybe, who knows, maybe that's a buy there below 20. We'll have to wait and see. It's been a long time since it's below 20, so big move after hours. This is one that can fix just about anything in your house. Duct tape, a hammer, and WD-40. That'll fix you up right up. It pulled back to its 50, and then after the bell reported, and it's up, nearly $17 or more than 7%. So looks like it's going to open up at a new high tomorrow. So congrats to the longs of WD-40 in the chemical specialty space. And PSMT is another one that reported tonight, and up nearly 10%. So I've got to dig through that one as well. But you can see this is a nice cup with handle pattern here, and it looks like it's going to open around $80 tomorrow. Wow. So anyway, something to look forward to tomorrow. Thank you for watching. Like I said, the Nasdaq is just going through some things right now, just digesting the big gains, 21% gains. So hang in there. The first part of January is a little dicey, and more is going to be revealed at mcstockcharts.com. We never give up. Thank you for watching.